Hi again, Kim Coco here, founder of Swagtail. Today's yin class is going to be opening up your body in preparation to receive. Now, to receive what, you might ask? We're going to look at ways to open up the body, open up the heart, and open up the whole being in a way that you can receive the ideas, the inspirations, and the manifestation of those ideas that have already taken shape in your life. One of my favorite ideas is that 99% of something is already done in this vibrational atmosphere, this energetic form, before you see it appear in your life. And so many times we're really busy and we just kind of forget to carve out the space to allow these ideas and this desire to really just come forth because it's ready, and we want to be a match to receive that. So this class will open up the hips in that case, and we are going to use a blanket or a towel, roll it up and set it off to the side. We're going to use it later, and then grab a bolster or a couple larger pillows and some blocks. But you can take everything and set it aside until more toward the middle of class, or just have it so you can use anything that you want at any time. I'm going to grab a block close by because we are going to come into a twist as our first pose, but we'll take a few moments in Shavasana first just to really set up and start to transition from whatever's going on in your day to right now. So that being said, find your way onto your back. You can have the knees bent or straight in any, maybe wiggle them around. Finding a position that feels really comfortable for you. Maybe reset the shoulders down so the back of the shoulder blades can rest comfortably on the floor. And you can feel the back of the pelvis even right to left. And maybe without even opening your eyes, just notice how the legs feel. There might be a slight difference in that sensation right to left. So be aware of it. And notice here the back of the hands touching the surface beneath them, creating this open space in the palms. An openness and a willingness to receive the best and highest good for your life and for your practice right now. So as you begin to breathe more intentionally in and out through the nose, keep your mind's eye on the sensations at the palms of your hands. Being aware if the hands can relax any more than they are right now, as well as being open to any temperature or texture. You might even feel a sense of energy or tingling at the palms of the hands. Don't judge it or expect anything in particular. Just be aware of what you begin to notice. Begin to deepen the breath in and out through the nose. Maybe becoming a little more conscious of that pause between the inhale and the exhale. And that pause between the exhale and your next in-breath. Before you begin to change the shape of the body, which kind of translates to how we want to take action in our lives, See if you can set your intention first. What would you like to receive while you're on your mat here right now? Maybe it's an idea or a shift in mood, an openness in the body. And how might that shift or change take shape in other areas of your life as well? Without having to be attached to it, just being curious about what shows up. What ideas first come to mind? On your next in-breath, take the deepest breath in possible and stretch the arms up overhead, stretch the feet out long, grow an inch or two taller. And then as you exhale, draw the knees into the chest. And we're going to keep the left knee in toward the chest, and we're going to drop, well, let's go ahead and extend the right leg long and keep the left knee into the chest. So you might even take a moment here, move the left ankle around in a few circles. By all means, if having the right leg extended is too intense, keep it bent. We're not going to be here too long. We're just taking a few cycles of breath to notice the length across the front of the right thigh. Noticing maybe any ease created in the low back by hugging the left knee into the chest. You can take the left knee over toward the left armpit a little more if that feels better. Every new posture we take on the mat, even in the slower mode, is a chance to start a new segment of your day, a new segment of your practice, something new that changes. And you can take your intention into that change, being open about what's to come. It's an invitation to let go of the past. It's definitely an invitation to receive something new. So every time we transition today, notice how you can ask yourself, what is new for me here? What's here for me to receive? And then let it go. And we'll use the breath to stay present and focused, and just notice what ideas begin to sprinkle into your mind's eye, what becomes more apparent. From here, we're going to take a twist. So move the hips a little over to the left, drop the left knee over to the right, and support it if you want to with a block, just so you have some room here. And then we're going to take your spinal twist as our first posture of the day. More specific, traditional posture. And then you can have the left arm extended or bent in cactus shape. You can hold on to the left knee or left leg with the right arm if that feels more comfortable. In any case, let the back sides of both shoulder blades melt down to your mat. Notice what new ideas come to mind just by shifting your shape. What new physical sensations bubble up. And then begin to get very curious about what is here for you now. Use a deeper breath in to energize, and then pausing at the top of the breath. Exhale all the way back out. Again, taking that momentary pause before you breathe in again. Just finding a very rhythmic, soothing cadence of the breath. Matching the length of the breath in with the length of the breath out. Knowing how just even the breath creates new space for you to receive new energy, new oxygen, fresh oxygenated blood to the whole body. Sometimes twists can seem a little constricting just because they make it more challenging to breathe. And so when you find yourself in a more challenging position in life, we can constrict as well. But know here, your breath can still be just as deep. Your focus can be just as vivid. And you're just as open to creativity, possibility, and space, regardless of the shape here. Begin to memorize this safety and this pattern here. Be aware of how you can relax and receive even more for this next minute here in this posture. On your next breath in, slowly begin to come back to center. Hug both knees into the chest, and then rock either a little side to side. Come back onto one side to press your way to a seat, or slowly rock your way up. And we're going to go ahead and find Janu Shavasana, or half butterfly here. So extend your left leg out, and then we're going to take the right sole of the foot to the inner left thigh. So we're going to keep elongating this right side of the body from the twist now into a seated forward fold. So if you're like me at all and your right knee does not touch the ground, then you might want to place a blanket or a block underneath it. You want to square your hips as much toward the front of your mat and your extended left leg as possible. Take your really deep breath in, and then we're going to keep that nice elongated spine as you start to fold forward. So ideally, we're moving the heart closer to the knee or the shin closer to the forehead. And again, this is where you get very creative with your props. So you can find a way to create a pillow for your forehead in any way, shape, or form so that you can rest in. So take a moment to start to wiggle around and get comfortable in your posture, setting up however you need to, maybe even taking a breath in to lengthen the spine, and exhale to fold in, maybe even backing off 2 more times just to find the shape that works. And even though all 5 toes on the left foot point to the ceiling, see if you can find a way to let the leg relax some so it doesn't have to be really engaged the whole time, but you still have the femur in a neutral position. And then you can work on opening up the low back, the inner right groin, the whole back side of the heart. And again, this is a new segment, a new moment, a new position, and most definitely a new chance to see what you can receive here. And instead of expecting these ideas and the manifestations and the future to show up in a very certain way, or the posture to show up in a very certain way, see if you can be open to how it arrives. And one of the best ways to do that is simply tap back into the rhythm of breath. Keep your focus there, because in that present moment awareness, You are very open to receive. No grasping or pulling or pushing. You're making the space to let in all that you seek. Keep the same rhythm as we started with a moment ago, inhaling to that even, smooth rhythm, pausing at the top, exhaling out that smooth, even rhythm, pausing at the bottom of the out breath, and then keep that as your point of focus here. Let yourself get heavier. There's no need to hold up the body or use it to make progress and go deeper. Simply enjoy this 50 or 60 or 70% stretch. Take 3 more cycles of breath here. As you're ready to inhale next, come back up. We're coming right to caterpillar pose, or Paschimottanasana in the yang version. So you'll notice the right and left are probably going to be really different, and that's totally okay. We're using that as just a point of awareness, because life is not always comfortable and symmetrical. So just be aware of the difference right to left in your legs. Sit up as tall as you comfortably can, and maybe stay upright for a little bit longer if that feels good. Or slowly start to hinge your hips forward, or hinge at the hip, folding the torso forward, and give yourself some support for the head and neck. So again, we're really only going a fraction of what your capability level is, because we're working with the connective tissue, this tension system that helps the levers of the body move, and we're helping lay down new collagen fibers in a really organized fashion, so that you can move efficiently. This type of work also helps provide the greatest range of motion gains. So these longer held poses really give you access to new ways of moving as well. It's a new segment. Take a deep breath in. Hold at the top. Exhale it out. Find your even rhythm of breath. We'll stick with it all through class. And Really just appreciate here that you don't have to force or make anything happen. This is so contrary to what we hear in society, where we want to be efficient and take action and move and do, and that really validates our worth and contribution to the world. But in fact, it's this powerful place of alignment, this receptivity to all things good, to ideas, to relationships, to how we can make the best future possible for ourselves and our families and our communities. It's this point of focus that allows us to take action in a meaningful way. So don't overlook this as not doing anything. You're doing far greater things than often your action has the power to produce. This alignment here helps transform you into a magnet that's going to draw all that you seek to you, so that you don't have to run around and worry and fuss about having your life fall into place. If you can, turn the palms up wherever you are in the spirit of receiving. Somewhere in the body get heavier. Let something be a little easier, even if that's how your jaw is, or the tongue resting in your mouth. Or even imagining a softness behind your closed eyes. Take a few more rounds of breath here. On your next breath in, slowly come back up. Set your props off to the side. Maybe bend the knees, take your hands behind you, and windshield wiper the hips. If you'd like a little bit of a heart opener after all of that forward folding, have the fingertips face the hips, squeeze the shoulder blades together and lift the heart, and stay right here, opening up the throat and the neck. Or if you do want to come to an inverted table, draw the heels back in space without moving them and lift the hips up. Maybe keep the chin tucked if that feels better, or draw the head back in space. Take a full cycle of breath wherever you are. And release. We're coming right down onto your back because we've got our second side of a twist before we move into the next round of seated poses. So pause for a moment if you want to keep the feet on the ground or extend the legs for that moment to really just observe the difference right to left after a little bit of time and what that does to the body. And then as you see fit, draw the right knee into the chest, taking a couple moments of ankle circles. Even moving the knee around in space. A new segment here to check in and be aware of what's happening right to left in the body. What sensations arise in the front of the left thigh, around the back of the pelvis as you hug one knee in. How are you creating space here already to receive? Okay, when you're ready, we're going into our twist. So take the hips to the right, drop the right knee across the body over to the left. And this time we are gonna have the right arm extended or the right elbow bent. Whatever feels the most comfortable in the moment. Feeling the right hip stack on top of the left. Again, another new segment. As the back of the right shoulder drops down. And you start to wiggle out any kinks in the posture so that you can rest comfortably here for the next few minutes. Use your breath to sustain that base of support. And notice here how, again, you don't have to do really anything. You're showing up and you're being present with the mind's eye. You're being curious and willing to see what shows up and how it shows up. And if you have an idea that floats by the mind's eye that's enticing and positive and it gets you interested in the moment even more, then watch it play out. Again, many things are very alive energetically before we see them with our eyes or can touch them with our hands. And so we're really working on refining the capacity of the mind, especially in this very slow, receptive style yin practice. Drop your effort level 1% more. Turn up the volume of your breath 1% more. Take another few rounds of breath. Coming back to the center when you're done with that next out breath. Hug both knees in, rock a little side to side, maybe a little front to back, and then come on up. We've got the right leg extended, left knee bent, left sole of the foot to the inner right thigh. Prop yourself up as you see fit. Grab your props as you need to. Take the first few moments to really set up so you can feel the spine long and square your torso over the extended right leg. And be aware that this side could be totally different. Be okay with that. I think one of the best parts about receiving is the unknown. It's like the best surprise party or the surprise gift. You know you want to be loved and cherished, and you know what you like, you have preferences that are unique to you, but you're not really sure sometimes how it's going to come about. So as we enter this new segment, be curious, be a little playful. Be a little more playful with yourself in the pose, as far as giving yourself a pass. It doesn't have to be intense. It doesn't have to be serious. Let it just be what it is. It's all good. So breathe here. Again, turn the palms up if they're not already, and if you don't need them for support in this posture. And again, how can you find a little more ease here, even if it's just 1% more? How can you turn your attention more to your breath, even if it's just 1% more? Your mind wanders, bring it back to the breath. We got a few more cycles here. Even just creating a soft smile at the edges of your mouth can help put you right into that mode of receiving. The happy place of possibility. Take one more deep cycle of breath here. Exhale through the nose and mouth. As you inhale, come back up. Instead of caterpillar, we're going to take a straddle here. So nice wide-legged forward fold. You can turn sideways on your mat or stay facing the front of your mat, whatever is going to be best for you. I'll face this way. So find a position that's comfortable for you. Maybe sit tall for the moment. Maybe just wiggle around the body a little bit before you keep the low back long and start to hinge forward to find your fold. And we'll take about half, so like a halfway mark here, so that if you want to turn your head to one side, I can tell you when we're halfway through so that you can go ahead and switch the gaze and give the neck an even stretch. I'm going to prop myself up pretty cozy here. So take a moment. Notice the new movement in the body, the new moment that's here. The invitation to receive. New openness in the body. New sensations, just an appreciation for what you're capable of simply being here, and how your mind has the capacity to wander, to process thoughts, but also to come back and be open, so that you not only think thoughts, but you actually receive them. Make sure all 10 toes point to the ceiling, but then let the legs relax as much as possible. If you have a prop in front of you, notice how the compression of the body gives you a little bit of resistance as you breathe. And again, this is kind of like that constriction that comes with a twist. And instead of fighting the constriction, just notice how it gives you more clarity about your position in space, more feedback about your body. A reminder to take a deeper breath. And as you turn your head to the other side, notice how enjoyable it can be for the contrast in your environment, at home or at work, or just in the global picture at large, how it provides such a great way to view yourself with more clarity. It can heighten or amplify those desires you already have within you and magnify them and remind you who you are and what you stand for. But you don't have to take any work or any action to be aware of that here. Just let it pop up to the mind's eye. Take 2 or 3 more cycles of breath right where you're at. And then take your time to come up. The same options are going to apply to stretch out the body. So you can windshield wiper the knees again. You can just shake out the legs. Whatever's going to feel good. I even sometimes like to take a low boat to like a hammock pose with the back to just really release the sacrum. That might feel nice. You might simply want to take the hands behind you and lift the heart. You want to offset the forward folding. Again, you might even feel like you want an inverted table to really accentuate a difference in posture. Wherever you are, come back to a seat for a moment. And we're going to take a little pranayama here before we come onto your back one more time. I think this is a great place to do it. And we'll do some alternate nostril breathing just to really balance you out. So weave the pinky and ring finger together on the right hand, taking the forefinger and middle finger down toward the palm. Take a nice deep breath in here. Exhale your breath fully. And take your ring finger, block the left nostril, breathe in through the right. Pause when you get at the top, plugging both nostrils. Exhale through the left. Pause at the bottom of the breath before you breathe in the left side again. Pausing at the top. Exhale right. Pause at the bottom of the breath. Inhale right. Hold at the top, plugging both nostrils. Keep the thumb down, lift the ring finger, breathe out the left. Inhale left. Pause and plug both nostrils at the top. Lift the thumb and exhale right. A few more rounds on your own. Inhaling right. Exhaling left. Inhaling left. Exhaling right. Go ahead and flip your left palm up on your lap in order to receive as you continue your pranayama. The next time you end on the right, pause with both palms up in your lap. Aware of even more space you've created to receive, to be more vibrant, more alive. As you're ready, just lightly open your eyes enough to come onto your back. We're going to take reclined butterfly or Supta Baddha Konasana. So you have a couple different options. You might take your bolster and use that behind your back. I'm going to take this roll that I've created with my blanket and use it behind the spine. It'll help my shoulders open a little more today. You might have a total different variation in mind. You might just want a flat back on the mat, which is fine as well. So just be clear about what you want. If you are taking a roll behind your back, make sure the spine rests on it and the low back can dangle free to release, again, any tension. And part of the making space to receive is all about getting rid of some things, right? Or making certain choices or different choices so that you can receive something new. Letting go of the old, welcoming in possibility. Set any arm position that feels the most comfortable for you. Maybe a diamond shape overhead, might be a T out to the side. Just make sure your legs feel supported, your spine feels supported, your head and neck are nice and cozy. And as you enter this new segment, just be aware of how the breath comes in and out of the nose now, in maybe a slightly different way after our very deliberate pranayama. As you still breathe evenly, Can the body get heavier? Is there another layer that you can shed? Anything else you can let go of here to make more space for the heart and for whatever else is to come in your life? And you're welcome to stay right here for a few minutes longer if you'd like. If you'd prefer to come onto your back for Shavasana, maybe you do that. Maybe you move to the wall and take your legs up the wall for just an added layer of depth, of receptivity, of ease for the body and the mind. Take your time to get wherever you want to be for these last few minutes. Really honoring the uniqueness of who you are, how you think and operate, and this immense capability to be here, and how being here and opening up body and mind creates tremendous momentum for the future. Think of a future that is full of well-being, connection, excitement, enthusiasm, a sense of eagerness and learning. Let your body get heavier wherever you're at. Connecting to any intention you have here in this final segment of your practice. And feel free to stay here as long as you'd like. Once again, start to deepen the breath. Send the breath in a gentle movement of the fingers, toes, wrists, ankles. And take a big stretch with the whole body. Maybe get a full yawn. Taking the knees to the chest before rolling them over to one side. And then making your way up to a seat. With your eyes lightly closed, bring the hands to the heart center. Being aware of the gifts you've already received here on your mat in the last 60 minutes. Changes at all levels of your being. That last far beyond this time. Knowing you are really a different person leaving your mat than when you showed up. Setting a new point of attraction, setting a new tone for your future, for your day, for your relationships. And turn the lips into a smile and appreciation for this amazing change without much action or effort. Memorizing this sense of ease as you go out into the next phases of your life. So when you're ready, just lightly blink your eyes open. Thank you so much for being here today to practice. The light in me honors the light in you. Thanks for being here today. Namaste.